Are you tired of losing to that one style of player that keeps having your number? Whether it's a banger, someone who's super consistent, a counter puncher, we're gonna go through all the different styles of players, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, how to play them, how to get those results. Keep watching to the end. We cover all the different strategies for each type of player. So the 6 styles of pickleball player we're gonna talk through today are the banger, that tennis player that just rips the ball, Mr. Consistent, makes every shot, countering queen, just sends it back, the ball hog, always overextending on the court, the flick wizard, who just takes everything out of the air and hits that great shot, Mr. Trickshot as well, who's maybe a little bit more erratic, but hits some of those crazy shots. All right, so first we're gonna go into a banger. They're the person that relies on power. They sometimes come from a tennis background. They rip that ball from the baseline, look to find offense as often as possible. What you want to do on this side of the net when facing a banger is keep your weight forward as number 1. Number 2, compact swing. So I'm not overdoing it with these swings. I want to take time away from them and not be forced back. And number 3, not trying to overhit. A lot of times when someone hits the ball hard, people try and do too much with it. All I need to do is block it back at their feet. So I have Jackson over here. He's gonna simulate the banger. We're gonna show you what not to do and what to do. So as we saw there, when I was leaning back or taking these big swings I was missing, when I was able to keep that compact, put it back at his feet, I was in a great position. Also, you notice I got super low. The better your base is, the easier it is to absorb his powerful shots. Also, don't forget, if they're ripping the ball and it's shoulder height, let it go out. Shoulder high, let it fly. Like sometimes the best solution is just to let it go. So the second type of player you could face is Mr. Consistent. This player just makes a ton of balls and relies on your lack of patience to win matches. They're not gonna give you any easy outs, but they're also not gonna take over and win a point super quickly. How we're gonna play this player is being patient, setting up the point, being intentional with our play to earn that attack. We're gonna look for that right ball to attack here. All right, so with Mr. Consistent, they're not really giving me anything on these dinks. And I'm trying to create too early a lot of the times. So being more patient and finding that right ball to attack on is super key. So see there, I waited for one that I could take above net level. I set up the dink by moving it around, and once I had my opportunity, I attacked. Being intentional and then attacking versus going too early. The nice thing here too is I can hit these dinks a little deeper. With someone who plays more of a consistent game, I'm not as worried about them attacking, so I also have a little bit more margin for air on my shots. All right, so now we're gonna go over the countering queen. This is that person that when you attack, they're on those counters. They have very clubby hands and they keep that ball down. So what you want to avoid doing is speeding up too early, finding the right time to attack, forcing them to attack, but basically their strength is that first strike counter, so the more we can keep it away from that, the more success we'll have. So you've seen in that when I just attack off the ground there, I'm not having a ton of success. She's able to counter those back down and put me in a really tough spot. what we're gonna look to do is force her to either attack too soon or be very thoughtful on when we attack. And sometimes too, when they attack that, just letting that ball go out as well. So being patient, the countering player doesn't like to attack first that often. So the more we can kind of force them to either attack or get them to pop up that ball, the better we're gonna be for that. Really quick, I wanted to mention that my Home for Pickleball training, the PICKLR, is offering a 30-day trial for only $30. It gets you an unlimited membership. In that, it includes unlimited pickleball, free tournaments, leagues, and more. Get in on the action. Hope to see you on the courts. All right, so now we're gonna get into the ball hog. This is the super aggressive player. They typically play the left side of the court if they're a righty. They're looking to take every ball they can, be ultra aggressive at the net. Their strength is if you leave anything up, they're gonna likely pounce on that ball and really look to attack it. What we wanna do is notice when they're overcommitting, trying to take too much court, and guess what? The open spot is right behind them. That's where we're gonna look to go when we see this player taking too much court. So there, once I see Jackson getting me on a few of those points and he's overcommitting to that middle, that backhand corner is a really safe spot because now with his backhand, he's less likely to be aggressive. And also there's just a ton of open court there. So I don't need to hit a winner there, but sometimes I will actually be able to hit the open court for a winner there as well. Now we're gonna be getting into the flick wizard. This is someone that takes the ball out of the air super well. We want to avoid their strength is anything out of the air. They're gonna look to attack and be really aggressive on putting us in a defensive position. How we wanna play someone like this is keeping the ball on the ground. So what they're looking to do is move the dink around to get you out of position to give them something they can attack. We're trying to keep it on the ground and look to find our offense before they can take it out of the air and attack us. So the key is to keep this dink on the ground or force them to take something well below the net that you're able to counter. When they're able to get that ball around net level, even a little bit below, that's when they can really create offense and get us in a tough spot. All right, so the final type of player we're gonna be covering today is Mr. Trickshot. This is a flashier player. They usually can come up with some crazy shots, but they're also a little bit more inconsistent. So weathering that storm of their flashy shots, but also knowing that, hey, it's not gonna last, and a lot of these shots might be going out as well. So oftentimes Mr. Trickshot will have some success, but continuing to weather that storm and just focusing on controlling what you can control, and you're gonna like the outcome of that. Don't let it get flustered. Don't let your emotions kind of lull you into making even more bad decisions there. So those are 6 common pickleball player types. We talked about their strengths, their weaknesses, how to beat them when you are facing them on the pickleball court. If you think there's one that we haven't covered, drop it in the comments below, or if you have any other thoughts, let us know. Thank you to Zaya Active and the PICKLR for sponsoring this video. Also stay tuned for our bi-weekly videos that now we have up and running. Keep tuning in, keep subscribing, keep commenting. Tui Nation out.